Hello, everyone, and welcome to Club Reaction here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. My name is Scott Carney, and I'm here to give my thoughts on Hibs 1, Rangers 3. A very comfortable afternoon for Rangers in Edinburgh this afternoon, and a lovely way to spend an early Sunday afternoon, that's for sure. Rangers really look like they're finishing this season strong. Our performances aren't really dipping, the scorelines are not really dipping either, and I can't really fault the attitude of what I'm seeing from the players just now, and Michael Beale as well. I think it would be easy just to down tools considering what's happened this season, but it really doesn't look like it's the case. And yeah, we're looking like we're doing what we can to finish the season strong, and that's with a depleted squad, you might say, just based on the news that we also heard today. So that leads me nicely on to the team. The team was McCrory, Tavernier, King, Suter, Yilmaz, Jack Lundstrom, Raskin, Cantwell, Hadji and Sakala. We also had a pretty young bench today. McCausland was on the bench, Ewer, Lyle, Devine and Lowry. All making the bench. Obviously, today was Tavernier's 400th appearance for Rangers, a pretty magnificent achievement by any player for any club, and probably a massive reason why he is in the Hall of Fame, or was inducted into the Hall of Fame. A truly remarkable achievement by a player in the modern day football anyway, for sure. So congratulations to Tavernier. But yeah, no Goldson in the lineup. It was mentioned by Beale earlier in the week that there was a chances that Goldson was going to miss, and he's confirmed he's going to be out for 10 weeks. I mean, can things get any worse with injuries really with this team? It's ridiculous the way this season has went with injuries for Rangers. It really is, and it's something that definitely needs addressed by the new board that are in place. All this talking that they're doing, especially from Bisgrove, etc. We really need to assess the medical team and the way these players are getting looking after the treatment that they're getting. But 10 weeks for Connor Goldson's okay for this season. It's not. It doesn't really mean much for the rest of this season. However, the race will be on now to try and get him fit for the start of next season. It's a real blow. It is a real blow. When I heard it the day before kick off, I was like, honestly, just when you think things are beginning to turn a corner, you get hit with a hammer blow like that. But like I just said, it needs addressed. It needs the whole medical team, the way the things are getting happen. This can't just be a coincidence of all these players getting these injuries. There has to be something wrong. Something's not working the way it should, and the club are definitely going to need to address it. But yeah, get fit soon, Connor Goldson. We'll probably hear more detail around that. I would imagine exactly what it is probably next time we have a press conference with Beale. Maybe he might get asked after the game. As I say, I don't know. I've just come up the stairs after full time to record this, so we'll see what comes of that. And no Morelos in the squad at all. I don't think it's brave from Beale. I think it's exactly what he should be doing. I know I said on the preview pod that I would play Morelos, but that's because I'm not the biggest fan of Fashion Sakala right now, and and obviously with Lovelace not being there, he would have been my first choice, but because he's away in international duty. But I just thought, well, you might as well play Morelos, give him a last chance to torture Hibs. He always loves a game against Hibs, but no, for Beale not to name him, quite right. Quite right. As I say, the players moving on, we have to move on as a club, and the opportunity to bring in youth into these remaining games is important. So, no, I commend Beale for doing so and for leaving Morelos out. Into the game itself, with a couple of early chances, I thought Rangers started pretty well. They were from kind of back-to-back corners pretty much. One off the bar from Suter. The other was a bit of a Stramash that was kind of turned behind by Marshall. But Hibs looked a bit vulnerable from cross balls, I thought, early on. Sakala gets a chance down the right-hand side. It's a bit of a tight angle. He does well to check back onto his left foot after a really good build-up play. I thought, but the shots fired at Marshall, it's a comfortable save. It's going to be a difficult angle to score from, but he's still done rather well. And it kind of leads me on to the midfield three of Jack, Lundstrom and Raskin. Now, initially when you read it, and what we always say that we don't need Jack and Lundstrom in the same team, I think with Ryan Jack being there, I think it allows Lundstrom to move forward a bit more. And I actually like Lundstrom when he plays a bit further forward. I think it's helping his form, or helping him find a bit of form, because today I thought he was decent enough. I don't think he didn't stand out for anything particularly great that he done. Maybe the shot towards the end that I'll come on to, but I much prefer him playing further forward. I feel like he looks like he's got less pressure on him instead of trying to do both jobs, and he's probably more natural being an 8 than a 6, if that makes sense. So I think it's important for us to utilise that. And with Ryan Jack there's no need for Lundstrom just to sit. But I do think that it's something that could work going forward if Lundstrom's pushed just a little bit further forward, and it might help him, which ultimately is going to help the team. So the first 20 minutes, Rangers were the better team. We were definitely playing the better football, but there was nothing really to show. The game did go a bit scrappy at times. Cantwell was looking busy, as he always likes to do. But at this point, I was expecting more from Yanis Hadji. I don't think he had a particularly good first half at all. He wasn't really getting himself involved in the game, and it was, but again, the game itself did start to feel a wee bit end of season before everything kind of clicked in for us. But I think Yanis Hadji, I was still expecting to see a wee bit more from him because, okay, I understand that he's not fully fit. He's obviously been out for a year, but in that first half, we'll obviously come on to what happened. But in that first half, I did think there's not really much coming from him, and he was very quiet within the game. Hibs then get their first real chance. Tav got turned inside out by Yuhan on the left, and it wasn't on Hibs's left, and it wasn't the first time that it happened. A few times Tav struggled to deal with him, and Nisbet's headers, he was not able to keep it on target, and it goes wide. Rangers were needing to up the tempo at this point. I thought we were kind of just falling into the end of season vibes, and I thought we were really needing to kind of pick up the pace. But I say nothing much else to report. We get to the half hour mark, and just after that, we needed something to happen within this game, and it did. Tav scores a pretty spectacular free kick from the left hand side. Tav completely catches out Marshall, whips in a curling free kick with pace towards the near post, and Marshall can't keep it out. It's clever from Tav here. The keeper should probably do better. I don't think there's really any great doubt. I think Marshall will be disappointed. He's been beat from there, and he probably did expect the cross to happen. But Tavernier saw the opportunity and he took it. And to mark your 400th appearance with another free kick goal, I don't think he could have attempted to go any better, really. It was a great goal, and it was something that the game needed. Something from Rangers as well. It felt a wee bit something was going to need to give in terms of something was going to need to be maybe a wee bit special for anything to happen within the game, because it was a bit of a stalemate. But it's a great free kick. He has caught Marshall out, there's no doubt, but he still has to hit that ball the way that he does, and it's whipped at pace. It's whipped with curl and whip, and a great goal. Really, really a great goal. Hibs then miss an absolute sitter not long after that, onto the 40th minute. Nisbet is really clever here. He kind of holds the ball out on the left hand side, waiting for the Campbell to make his run towards the back post, and with the outside his boot, he puts it across our defence. We don't get there, and Campbell somehow misses it. And honestly, it's a really difficult one to understand how he's not put that in the back of the net. They were discussing it at half time and on Sky Sports, and McFadden says he kind of hesitates. Even at that, he hesitates. All he has to do is get something decent on that, and it's a goal. So it's an absolute sitter, and Rangers were kind of let off the hook at that point. Yilmaz then puts a cross in for Sakala, who gets up well to meet it, but his header is put well wide. Half time 1-0. As I say, I don't want to be too harsh on Yanis Hadji, obviously, based on what happens in the second half. But at this point, I was like, maybe better to see a bit of youth come on in terms of Lowry, and possibly give him a chance, because I thought he couldn't be doing much less, and I reckon Lowry would get more involved if he had a full half to play instead of what Hadji had done in that first. I thought he would be a better option, but nothing came of that. We went into the second half with no changes. Tav again, just on 48 minutes, was all over the place when Yuhan was running at him. Shooter makes two excellent blocks at this point. The ball kind of comes back in. It's a bit of panic stations from McCrory as he comes to try and punch a ball and doesn't get there, and the header from Nisbet just goes past the post, literally just goes past the post. And McCrory had one in the first half that kind of slipped through his hands from a corner, and then this one here. I think I would listen to Andy Walker, which I know I don't mean I'm going to take him seriously at all, but he was desperate for McCrory to fail as well, and I thought he was being a wee bit harsh on him. The first one with the corner, he's just slipped through his hands. It's one of those ones that he should have easily collected and dealt with, but he didn't. It kind of went past him, and I think maybe just a wee doubt creeped into his mind slightly. I say that after that, I thought he was decent enough. He wasn't really forced or brought into action at any serious point until towards the end of the match. But I thought he was decent enough. But this one, he probably should do better. He should come out and get onto that. If not, just stay where you are. Just stay where you are. If you don't think you're going to get it, don't come out and put yourself at risk. But as I say, the ball goes just wide. And we say Rangers were lucky really not to concede there. 51 minutes, Raskin goes down. Looks like there was an issue with his knee. He did look like he was in some discomfort. When the camera kind of zoomed in on him, you could see he looked in a bit of discomfort, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. But my God, the injuries for this team, it just rolls on and on. It really does. Hopefully he was took off at more of a precaution. It was from just after a tackle with Nisbet, and it was a bit of a knee knock. I don't think there was anything serious meant by it. I don't think there was any intention for Nisbet to hurt him or anything like that, but he did look like he was wincing a wee bit, and I do hope it's nothing too serious and he's back for the last two games, but you never know, he might not be risked if it's something that they might need to take a look at. And Arfield came on to replace Raskin, he was took off from there. And then Rangers make it 2. And Hadji shows up to the match. Lundstrom with a long ball forward. Sakala jumps up with it with a Hibs defender. It falls back to Hadji, whose first effort looked like it could have potentially have been handball, but the rebound comes straight back to him, and with his left foot he fires it into the bottom right hand corner, giving Marshall absolutely no chance. And you could see what it meant to Yanis Hadji. It really meant the world to him. And after being out for that long, who can blame him for feeling like that? So no, I thought it was a really, really tidy finish by Hadji, really tidy finish, and that's what he does have in his locker. He does have a good finishing ability, and he was almost looked like a weight had been lifted from him after he scored the goal. I don't think he was particularly sensational after it or anything like that, but he was definitely much more involved in the second half than he was the first. And to get his goal, yeah, I think it means a lot to him. It'll be a popular goal amongst the fans as well, the people that like Yanis Hadji and wanting to see him stick around. Well, I think he is going to be here anyway going forward, but even at that, I think it was very important for Hadji to get that goal, and hopefully a sign of things to come. I really do. I hope it's a sign that he kicks on now, and I think pre-season's massive for him. He has to come back he has to come back fully fit for the start of next season, and we'll really see what Yanis Hadji we have on our hands now once he is fully fit even. The chorus of Hibs are falling apart again then rang out from the Rangers fans, which I absolutely love because I absolutely despise Hibs, so I absolutely loved it. Genuinely thought it was great. And then 65 minutes, nice bit of play by Sakala, making an attempt for himself from a tight angle, but the keeper saves it comfortably again. I think he was just desperate to get himself a goal. On to 70 minutes, and in the last 20, a bit of scrappy. It did all seem pretty over at that point. Hibs were becoming pretty frustrated. Rangers were having a lot of the ball. Silly fouls from Hibs kind of breaking up the game, but Rangers were comfortable at this point. Nisbet hits the post with a header from a corner on 72 minutes. We were when Hibs are not great, I think Nisbet stands out more times than not, and every time I see him I feel like he stands out. Might just be against Rangers. I say I don't watch every Hibs game, that is for sure, but you're not telling me he's not a better option than Sakala or Matondo that we have currently at the club. I just don't see how he isn't a better option. I quite like Nisbet. I've been on record to say that I quite like Nisbet, and today I just thought I still think I'm sure you could do a job for Rangers. I don't know if it's an avenue Rangers will even go down. There might be the money involved in it might put Rangers off, because we've spoke about how it's inflated in terms of when you go to another club in Scotland and you ask for one of their stars, if you like, one of their starter players, they will inflate the price. There's absolutely no doubt they will inflate the price. But if it's something that we could take advantage of, or something that we could get the deal done, I would have no qualms with having Nisbet at this team. I think he's a decent player. I think he would add to this squad. I'm not going to say he's a starter. I'm not going to say, but you never know. He might take his opportunity. He might come and he might hit the ground absolutely running. So. What for me, as I say, I'd be looking into that. I'd be looking into see if there was a way to get Nisbet team. So I just think he stands out. I do. I just think he stands out within a rather poor Hibs team today. They weren't great, but he was a bit of a shining light for them. And I just think he would be a better option than what we do currently have. Hadji then comes off, and we get to see Lowry. It's his first appearance since February, so it was important, I think, to get him on and to see him again. Lundstrom's denied a great great goal on the 78th minute with a kind of dip and volley with his left foot from the edge of the box, but Marshall just turns it over for a corner. And then 85 minutes, Rangers make it 3. Jack bursts down the right-hand side. He cuts it back to Tav, who's at the edge, just about the edge of the box. His strike hits the defender, comes back, hits him. Tav knows nothing about it. Marshall's already dived for the ball and it kind of hits his foot and it falls nicely for the on-rushing Cantwell, who puts it away, and it's a comfortable win for Rangers. Cantwell again, he's quickly becoming the heartbeat of this team for me. I think he looks like he's up for the challenge. Looks like he's up for taking any game that he can by the scruff of the neck and going on with things. I'm running out of ways to praise him, and I know I'm trying my hardest not to get too carried away with him, because we all know what can happen. But I think he's very important for us, and I think he's going to be very important for this team going forward. Everything about today, pretty much every attacking move I think that we done today, Cantwell was involved in it. I just think he looks like the guy that the rest of the team are turning to give the ball to, and for him to go on and make something happen. I think he's been a real breath of fresh air for this team since he's came in. And today probably deserved a goal. I'm not going to say it was his best performance ever, but for me he was still the best player on the park in a blue jersey, well, a red and white jersey as we're wearing today. But I can't praise the guy enough. I really can't. He seems to absolutely fall in love with the club, and the fans are quickly falling in love with him. So yeah, at this point I thought it was feet up time. I really did, but we take off that just after that. We do take off Cantwell, Jack, and Sakala. We give a debut to Lyle, as well as bringing on McCausland and Ure for the last 5 minutes or so. With 4 minutes added on time, as I say, I thought it was all done. And then McCrory loses his clean sheet record through no fault of his own, that is for sure. He made a great save just before that and turned it round for a corner. And from the resulting corner, we just don't defend the front post. So kind of switch off time. It's the last couple of minutes of the game. The game was absolutely dead, but we just don't defend the front post. It's flicked on and into the far corner. There was nothing McCrory could do about it, and the game finishes 3-1. And it's a shame there was only about 3 Hibs fans left in that stadium to see their goal. And by shame, I mean I really don't care, because it's tremendous when they get scudded, which today they rightfully did. But yeah, today was a comfortable win for Rangers. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And we were good at stopping Hibs trying to get anything going at all. I think Johan tried his best against Tavernier, and I think Tav struggled at times. Nisbet, again, another one that always looked half dangerous, if you like. But apart from that, Rangers were very good all over the park. Very good's maybe a bit an over-exaggeration, but we were solid today, and it really did look like there was only one team going to win that. A very, very comfortable game, and you would have thought Hibs might have wanted to try and win it, to try and make something happen in order to try and get themselves third. But no, they really didn't look like they were anywhere near the challenge today, and I thought Rangers thoroughly deserved that win today. It was as easy as you like. Man of the match for me, as I say, Cantwell. It was the easy choice. He's always involved in everything. As I say, I just do feel like he's becoming pivotal to the way we want to play football going forward, and I do believe he's the kind of heartbeat of the team. A massive shout out to John Souttar. I thought he was solid as a rock in the absence of Goldson today. You don't. Something we've said for a while that you notice when Connor Goldson isn't there. Today I didn't really. I don't know if that's down to how poor Hibs were and how good Rangers were to stop them trying to play football. But when he was called into action, Souttar was there. And I thought he was great today. I really did think. I thought he was absolutely solid in some of the defensive blocks and winning of his battles. I thought he was great. So a massive shout out to him as well. And yeah, I thought Lundstrom was decent as well. A few slack passes, but I think there was a slackness throughout the whole game as well. So it's not the free flowing Rangers best performance that I've ever seen, but it was more than good enough to beat Hibs today. It was a comfortable win, a really comfortable win. So yeah, between the 3, pick one of them. Whatever one you like, doesn't really matter. And that will do me, as I say, just on my own today. So I will be back on Tuesday with at least one other of the guys as we do Club Deck Corner. We'll break down this game a little more, and hopefully we've got a bit of news coming out about the players who are coming and the players who are going, as Michael Beale suggested. So we might have quite a bit to get into on Tuesday night. So until then, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. You always can when Rangers win an early kick-off on a Sunday. And I will speak to you on Tuesday. Thank you very much. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.